Did you know that actually this short, really catchy progression that we've heard in a million songs is actually something that's really jazzy? We can jazz it up, and it's called the backdoor. Alright, let's unpack this for a moment. So why do we call this the back door? No silly jokes, please. Is the reason that we get from going into a C chord, and typically we'll do this with a 5. So we'd say, well, we're going to do a G7 and we're going to go into the C. Actually, when we take the back route, what we do is go from B flat. And we call it the back door because it means we go from behind. We go... right? We go from B flat into the one. So we call this progression a backdoor, and it has a few subtleties that I can get around with you, which I'll get to in a moment. It's actually a borrowing from was A flat, going to B flat, going to C. You've heard this in rock songs and anthems and whatever. Actually the A flat chord, we could say is a, if you wanted, first inversion F minor. And what I like about using F minor instead is that the F minor to the B flat, this guy is actually a 2-5 progression. This is a 2-5 progression in the key of, drum roll, everybody, E flat major. Good. So if I'm going to a chord that is E flat major, I will play my F minor. That's an F minor 9 to this B flat, right? And then I will simply follow it by an E flat. And I'm here. And I've arrived again. Make it bossa. Okay, cool. Now what I do is, instead of going to that E flat, I do not go to this destination. I go to instead the C destination. And the question mark is why? And I'll give you a quick hint. There is a relationship between the key of C and the key of E flat, in that E flat major is a relative to C minor, the key of C minor. And if we wrote it in classical terms, we would write it with 3 flats at the clef. Simila. So what I actually do, I can list all the chords in that key. So in the key of, right, you've already seen this probably. If I go in the key of C major, I'll go C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, right? I will write all the, what we call the chords that are present in the key. So if I erase this for a moment, if I take the chords that are in E flat major, of course the 2 is F minor and the 5 is B flat 7. So what I did is, if I'm playing in the key of C major, what I'm going to go to is borrow these chords from a key. Why E flat major? Well, because there's this big link here, this relationship between the key of C minor and C major. C major and C minor are pretty close together, right? So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm allowing myself to borrow from C minor while my destination chord is C major, but I'm going to allow myself to borrow any chord that relate to E flat major or C minor. These are equivalent. They're not synonymous, but they contain pretty much the same melodic information. So that's how we do it. So let's just improvise. So our goal with this is to simply state the 2-5, which is the B flat 7. So F minor 7 to B flat 7, and then find a way to resolve nicely into the C. There's no secret sauce, guys. It's just you can use any of the good old licks, but this gives a pretty good flavor for either substitution or to know how to approach tunes, because this passage is found in probably, I would say, 50 to 60% of standards. It's a really common move. So people say, yeah, I learned the 2-5s. Now what? It's like, now learn that the 2-5 can be applied as a backdoor. All right, let's get going with the improv. All right, guys, I set up the plan on the right here. So let's get going with this plan for 1 round each already. Guide tones. Scales. Arpeggios. Arpeggios again. Targeting the thirds now. Now improvise. And good job. Final challenge. Let's just find out where you can find the backdoor progression and how you can implement what you've just learned here. I'll give you 2 hints. Number 1, Days of Wine and Roses. I'm not telling you where, but you can say it in the comment below if you find it. Also, Stella by Starlight has a lot of backdoors, or maybe at least one backdoor. At least one. Yeah, there's more than one. That's great news.